God does actually love you and wants you to love yourself, and you actually can't love yourself without loving yourself sexually. And by loving yourself sexually, I mean celebrating and embracing your sexuality and embracing the goodness of wonderful sex. There's a lot of sex out there that is not wonderful, inside or outside of marriage. Marriage, bar none, is not the barometer for good or healthy or sinful or not sinful sex. It really isn't. And that's really the main message that I want to communicate in this particular video, because this horrible lack of understanding and knowledge that we have about sexuality, particularly female sexuality, but particularly quality of sex inside or outside of marriage, is really, really, really harmful to women and frankly children, because obviously everyone knows that the Catholic Church is full of pedophiles, and you know what, the Protestant Church is full of rapists. Like, Church 2, hashtag Church 2. This is sign language for hashtag. Going to Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon is straight up feminist porn in the Bible. And I love it. It's great. It's like, it's just this wonderful, you know what, let's just read it. So it opens and the bride immediately starts up with, "May he kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine. The aroma of your oils is fragrant and pleasing." Okay, I just want to point out that this book opens from the women's perspective. And not only does it open from the women's perspective, the majority of it is from the women's perspective. I love the Bible. Your name is perfume poured out, therefore the maidens love you. Draw me away with you and let us run together. It's so romantic. Let the king bring me into his chambers. The chorus. We will rejoice and be glad in you. We will remember and extol your love, more sweet and fragrant than wine. Rightly do they love you. The bride. I am deeply tanned but lovely. Ugh. O daughters of Jerusalem, I am dark like the tents of the Bedouins of Kedar, like the beautiful curtains of Solomon. Do not gaze at me because I am deeply tanned. I've worked in the sun. It has left its mark on me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me keeper of the vineyards of my own vineyard. My complexion I have not kept. So she's so feminine and is insecure about how she looks. And she's so excited to make love to her husband, but she has all these insecurities. And as women, we need to discuss our sexual insecurities and our physical insecurities, because, you know, I certainly have them, and I'm sure you have them too, and it's something that we need to bring up. Tell me, O you, whom my soul loves, where do you pasture your flock? Where do you make it lie down at noon? I'm gonna cry. This is so beautiful. For why should I be like one who is veiled beside the flocks of your companions? So there it is. Like, first 7 verses of Song of Solomon, and she says, why should I be like one who is veiled beside the flocks of your companions? Why should I hide? Why should I hide this beautiful desire that I have, this beautiful sexuality that God has given me? Why should I hide it? I shouldn't. And it's in the Bible. Song of Solomon is so beautiful and romantic, and I'm just swooning. It's like God designed sex to be that way. He designed sex to be a wonderful emotional celebration of a woman. And we have to remember that. Like, I desire to be desired in this loving way as a woman. I desire to have a man adore me like the groom does in Song of Solomon. I desire that because as a woman I want to be looked at. I want to be appreciated. I want to be seen. It's just my natural posture as a woman. When we talk about sex, we can be really sweet. And I feel like when I hear people talk about sex in any context, that sweetness is so often missing. But sex should be sweet because sex should be enjoyable, and sex should be joyful, and sex should be so many things. Just read Song of Solomon. It's like amazing. It's a heart issue because you're longing for sex, but not just sex. Sexual love is one of your deepest desires as a human. And you should always be kind about a desire that's sensitive, and a desire that vulnerable, and a desire that intimate. Because it's really scary. it's really scary to have to admit to yourself and another person that you want them, that they're your desire. That's so terrifying. And also that for you, that you desire them to love you, and you desire them to adore you, and you desire them to look at you. It's just like so vulnerable. And I guess I'll get into some personal testimony here is that, you know, I have felt a lot of shame around my lack of sexual experience. And that's really sad. Because for me, I always approached it from a romantic point of view, whereas I wanted to be able to tell, you know, my someone that, you know, I kept this for you, right? Like, and just for you. And it's scary as a woman to think about having sex, because men are enormous. And they could kill you, right? And rape happens all the time. But as a woman, I need to be brave, right? And I need to vocalize my desire. But I can't forget that sweetness. I can't forget that self-love that comes with expressing this desire. Because it's a good one. So we have to approach sex from an emotional perspective. And as a woman, your sexuality is so inherently emotional, and that's why a lot of women don't watch porn, because honestly, it's really boring to just watch people having sex, like, without any sort of emotional connection. It's really boring. And honestly, there isn't really a woman in the world who just, like, desires to be pounded by a penis. Like, on a regular basis, women have desires that are deeper and more profound than that.